Hi, my name is Julia, and you're watching CMB News. The Battle of Bunker Hill, as deceiving as it may sound, was not actually fought on Bunker Hill. It was fought on a nearby Breeds Hill, which was a very strategic and central location. Occurring on July 16, 1775, the night before the actual battle, the colonists fortified both Bunker and Breeds Hill. The Patriots only did this to prevent British General Thomas Gage's attack on Breeds Hill. This fortification greatly angered Gage, and he immediately reacted by sending 2,400 of his troops. Tensions between the Redcoats and colonists were hastily acted upon, leaving this battle to be the deadliest yet. As the colonists suffered major decreases in supplies and the British suffered many in lives, the true winner of the battle is unclear. The British gained Breeds Hill, while the colonists gained confidence. Let's cut to Jill in the field with British General Thomas Gage and Patriot William Prescott.
Hello, this is Jillian in the field to interview General Thomas Gage and Colonel William Prescott. When the colonists secretly fortified the hilltops of Bunker and Breeds Hill overnight, do you think that your reaction was as good as you thought it would be?
Being the general of the British Army, anger filled throughout my body. I wasn't going to let them win that easily. I sent 2,400 of my men to attack back, but we had some disadvantages. The weather was hot, muggy, and my men were carrying heavy packs and were wearing woolen uniforms. As I look back on my decision, it might have been best to send less men, have them carry less supplies, and wear lighter clothing. This way, we might have had less men killed and more prepared to fight in more waves.
Do you believe that you still would have won the Battle of Bunker Hill if the colonists didn't run out of ammunition and gunpowder?
I don't believe we would have won because during the third wave, the colonists had to retreat, but they killed more than 1,000 of my men in 2 hours of fighting. So much more of us would have died if they continued to put up a good fight. It made us realize that a war with the colonies would be long, tough, and costly.
Why did you continue to send your troops up the hill even though your numbers were decreasing drastically?
I continued to send my troops up the hill because I knew that we had more supplies than the colonists. The more shots the colonists fired, the closer that they would get to running out of ammunition. That's why I refused to let my soldiers retreat, and instead they had to keep fighting.
The horrible weather conditions put you and your army at a disadvantage.
The heat was definitely a disadvantage to us Redcoats. June in Massachusetts is really hot, damp, and muggy, and it doesn't help that our uniforms are made of wool. Also, we had to carry packs full of supplies and our weapons up to the hill. It was weakening us and didn't help us not lose any other men.
In your opinion, would this be one of the deadliest battles of the war so far?
Yes, at the end of the battle, about 1,000 of our own troops had been cut down, leaving more than 200 of our men dead and about 800 wounded. Also, we killed more than 100 American colonists and left more than 300 wounded. A lot of our lives were lost and a lot of blood was shed. This was definitely one of our most deadliest battles so far.
You woke up in the morning and saw what the colonists had done. What were you thinking?
I was thinking that we have to get moving now. Rather quickly, we had warships coming in and troops out. We decided it was best to attack them right from the front only. That's because we wouldn't be surrounded by them. And also, we were the stronger, better army. They weren't trained enough to beat us head on.
On the night of June 16, 1775, you decided to fortify both Bunkers and Breeds Hill, but you only decided to fight on Breeds Hill. And why? General Israel Putnam and Colonel Richard Gridley, which was the chief engineer of our army, suggested to go to Breeds Hill because it was closer to Boston. Breeds Hill was a very centralized location that gave us many advantages. One key advantage would be that we were higher up than the opponent, therefore it was easier for us to see them than it was for them to see us. What differences in the First and Second Continental Congress led you to fight this battle? The First Continental Congress was put together to basically make peace with the British and to fight unfair laws. However, the Second Continental was put together after the American Revolutionary War had started, so we wanted to fight back. The Second Continental Congress decided on giving us a real trained army, which led us to be able to fight back. Why were the colonists ordered not to fire until they saw the whites of the British's eyes? We had to give these orders to our army because we began to run out of ammunition and gunpowder. We do not have the factories to make more supplies like the British do, and we could not buy from them because they are the enemy. We then gave these orders, which allowed us to conserve the supplies we had left. Confident you would win the battle after you fought off the first two waves of British soldiers. We were very confident until the British started coming back up the hill. That's when we realized our ammunition wouldn't hold out. We tried to conserve it by shooting less, but there were too many redcoats. When we eventually ran out of ammunition and gunpowder, the British broke through our fortification. Our men were retreating and trying to stay alive while running from the redcoats. After the second wave, our confidence decreased heavily and we knew we weren't going to win. Do you believe that you and the other colonists were prepared to fight off the British? I believe we were somewhat prepared for this battle. On June 16th, I discovered that the British were planning on sending troops from Boston to occupy the two hills, so I built fortifications on top of both that night, which was a great advantage for us. However, we were fighting against the British and we didn't have any factories to make our weaponry and supplies, so we couldn't buy them from the British. That is what hurt us the most and made the British take home the victory. Looking at the amount of men you had killed and the amount of men the British had killed, do you still believe that the British won the Battle of Bunker Hill? 311 of our men were murdered and we killed off 1,000 redcoats. If it wasn't for the disadvantage of not having enough ammunition, we would have defeated the British and many more of their men would have been killed. But because we ran out of ammunition and gunpowder, there was nothing more we could do. So the British victory was handed to them. Yes, they did win, but we would have won with the ammunition. Back to the studio with Julia.
As you saw from both Gage and Prescott's accounts, along with our field reporter Jill, the Battle of Bunker Hill resulted in a win for the British, yet a moral victory for the colonists. With the strategic planning of the colonists, along with the heat, the British were sure to be defeated. The colonists sat high on Breed's Hill and didn't fire until they saw the whites of the redcoats' eyes in order to preserve supplies. On the other hand, the British hastily marched up the hill, fully stocked with ammunition, and lost many men but ultimately conquered Breed's Hill. This battle is the deadliest one yet. With the British's gain of Breed's Hill and the colonists' moral victory, the true winner is unknown. One thing is for sure. After this battle, the colonists are more of a threat to the British than ever. Signing off, I'm Julia McAlevey here with CMB News, wishing you all a great and safe night. Ow! Wait, hold on, that hurt so bad!
Bat!
Who cares?
Hey! I just saw a bat!
Oh my god.
Okay, ready? Hello, this is Jillian in the field. Can you guys be quiet? I was almost done. Hello.
Guys,
Hello, this is Jillian in the field with General. Why did you continue to send troops up the mountain even though
what was the point of that?
Why did you continue to send troops up the mountain? I said mountain. Troops up the hill even though your numbers were Why did you continue to send your troops up the mountain to Congress? Led you to fight this battle. Don't open the door! What differences in the First and Second Continental Congress led you to fight this battle?